The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, excuse the setup, guys. I'm not home right now. I'm at a friend's house, but that's not gonna stop me from pumping out these videos. That's not gonna stop the untouchable True School Sports Empire from marching on. Because look, things may happen in life. Sometimes tragedy can strike. Sometimes adversity can strike, but the show must continue. The show must go on, and that's what we're going to do. So I wanted to just take this time to make a video about this fight, because this fight deserves a lot more coverage and videos than I'm going to make. But this is the one video I'm going to make before this fight, and we'll be live for this fight this weekend here on True School Sports. Now, Jermell Charlo, Brian Castano, this fight on the grand scale is really flying under the radar. You know, I know people within the boxing world understand the importance of it. People that are really clued in and really switched on as to the history of boxing. They know how important this fight is. But, you know, I don't think the general population or the people that are going to be tuning in this weekend quite understand how good this fight is, first and foremost, and how important it is. Because the winner of this fight isn't just looking at being a top being the undisputed 154-pound champion. No, the winner of this fight, you could argue, might be one of the top 10 best 154-pounders of all time, because this is the first time in the four-belt era that we've had a champion at 154. You know, so it's been a long time since I think there's been any champion at 154 undisputed. I think you would have to go all the way back to the days of Winky Wright. I could be wrong, but I think Winky Wright was the last undisputed champion at 154. But I want to talk about the style matchup, just the fight in general. You know, a hell of a fight. You know, you got Jermell Charlo, who for a long time here on True School Sports, early on in his career, I wasn't a fan of Jermell Charlo. A lot of you guys know that. A lot of you guys have been following me for a long time. You will know that I was not a big fan of Jermell Charlo. It was actually Jermall that I liked a lot more. And I thought Jermell was just too emotional. I didn't think he was going to have a big future in boxing. And he's shown a lot of evolution these last couple of years, and he's won me over. He has won me over, and I proudly say that I am a Jermell Charlo fan, and I'm supporting the man they call Iron Man. I'm supporting the man they call Mr. Keep Running Your Mouth, because he deserves support from every boxing fan. This is a guy that goes out there, he leaves it all in the ring every time he fights. He throws punches with bad intentions. He throws what we call grown man punches, and he showed us in all of his big fights that warrior's heart, the ability to be dangerous for 12 rounds that we're looking for in a fighter, and that's Jermell Charlo. So, you know, he's coming in. I haven't looked at the odds, but I would presume that he's the favorite. He should be, because he has 3 belts. He's been running through everybody, it seems. You know, and he showed a lot of character in his last few fights. So, you know, he's bringing a very intelligent, compact, boxer puncher style to this fight. You got a guy on the other side of the ring who, I'll be honest with you, he has flown way under the radar in Brian Castano. Even I haven't made enough videos or any videos of Brian Castano. Very, very excellent fighter when we talk about Brian Castano. And this is a guy that when we look at his foundations as a fighter, you know, going back to the amateurs, this guy was a world-class amateur. This guy, Castano, he beat the likes of Errol Spence in the amateurs. He beat Sergey Derevyanchenko. So he was a top-flight fighter as an amateur. And in the pros, it's been pretty much the same so far. You know, he beat Michael Soro, who was a fighter that isn't a big name, but a guy who knows the way around that ring. Not a lot of guys are jumping up to fight Michael Soro. He beat Michael Soro. You know, he fought Arizona Lara. That was a marquee win in his career. He beat him. And then, you know, he fought Patrick Teixeira, who people want to discredit now, and they might toss to the wayside now and say Patrick Teixeira wasn't this and he wasn't that. But, you know, Patrick Teixeira beat and upset Carlos Adames to win the world title. And Adames was supposed to be the next big thing. So, you know, for Castano to beat Teixeira the way he did, it spoke volumes to the kind of fighter he is. And I don't think it's been stated enough just how good Brian Castano is. You know, everything about him says that he's a top flight fighter. And if he puts it all together, even if he doesn't put it together, if he just comes and if he comes and he presents the normal Brian Castano that we're accustomed to seeing, it still has the potential to be the hardest fight Jermell Charlo's had in the 154-pound division. You know, when we talk about Castano, we're talking about a guy with an excellent pressure style, an intelligent pressure style, a guy with great conditioning, and that's one thing we always look for in a great fighter is great conditioning. So when I look at this fight, I don't see this being the kind of fight where a guy's gonna get knocked out in the first 3 to 4 or 5 rounds. I see this fight being a very fun but very violent war of attrition. The kind of fight where we see Brian Castano and Jermell Charlo taking each other into deep waters. And I think, you know, whoever wins this fight is going to be someone that has the will. This won't be a fight about skill or power. This fight will come down to will and conditioning. And whoever has the better will and conditioning, I believe, will win this fight. Now, I'm not going to make any predictions because it's kind of hard, man. I'll be honest with you. I haven't really taken the time to really think this one through. I want Charlo to win because he won me over as a fan. But then at the same time, I really don't feel like I've watched enough tape on Castano, and I think I'm really underrating him as well. So I'm not gonna make any official predictions. I'm just gonna say that I'm favoring Jermell Charlo. I really believe in Jermell Charlo, but you know, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if Brian Castano won. But it's an important fight because if Jermell Charlo wins this fight, I really believe, even more so for him, maybe a bit more than Castano in his case, because Jermell Charlo, you know, I don't think he's getting the credit he deserves in the media right now. You know, I think right now you have to have him on the pound-for-pound list right now. With the way he's been blowing through 154, the character he's shown us, the fashion he's won, he's got to be at least 10 on your pound-for-pound list, in my opinion. And if he wins this fight, I don't think he's just the best fighter at 154. I think he's one of the top 10 best 154 pounders of all time, and I don't think anybody's talking about that. You know, my good friend Sean Tatel, he gave me a good breakdown on this, and I wish I could recite what he said to me, but it was really good what he said. So I might have to bring him on the channel so he can tell you guys what he said if Charlo wins. And in Castano, I mean, I don't think I think the only undisputed middleweight undisputed champion to ever come out of Argentina was Carlos Monzon. I could be wrong, but correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Carlos Monzon was the only undisputed champion from Argentina. And if that's the case, you know, that's a historical company to be with, because Carlos Monzon, when we talk about boxing, not just Argentinian boxing, but boxing at large. When we talk about the true greats of boxing, the truly great pugilists that have put their life on the line and done it at the highest level against the best competition and given us the best performances, Carlos Monzon is one of the guys you talk about. And for Castano to put his name in that lineage, Argentinian boxing and boxing at large, will be huge. So it's a high stakes fight, a lot on the line. Great, you know, style matchup. You got a guy that's a very good technical, compact boxer, puncher, who really comes to put your lights out at any and every opportunity he gets, against a fighter that, you know, has all the amateur exploits you look for in a fighter. He has all the conditioning, all the heart, all the tenacity, all the relentlessness at Castano. And then you mix these ingredients, you mix what's at stake, you mix the styles, you mix the fact that, you know, for better or for worse, Charlo has taken a loss, and the loss has done him some good. But on the other side, Castano has never taken a loss in the professional ranks, and he's fought. It's not like he's fighting cupcake opponents. He's fighting good top opposition. So Jermell Charlo is going to have to not just beat him, but he's going to have to do what nobody else has done in the professional ranks with Castano. He's going to have to teach him how to lose, and that's a whole different task when you're fighting a guy like him. Because, look, I like Rosario. It's been well documented. I picked Rosario. I was very biased when I made that pick. I was South Florida guy, you know, rooting for him. It's a shame what happened to him in the Lubin fight, but this isn't like a Jason Rosario scenario where you get a guy who wasn't a big-time amateur, who won a big upset, and now he's just riding the momentum into the fight. No, this is a Castano that was world class as an amateur. This is a guy that has beaten top names in the division as a professional. Guys like Lara, guys like Patrick Teixeira, guys like Michael Soro. Top flight names, good fighters, really good fighters that know the way around that ring. So Castano, he might just be the best fighter Jermell Charlo's ever fought. We won't know that until Saturday night. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. Those are just my thoughts on the fight. I wanted to get something out there on this fight because it really does deserve coverage. Leave your comments down below. Anything you guys want me to talk about, drop it in the comments down below, as I will be getting to videos, because the show must continue. The show must go on. Nobody can stop the untouchable True School Sports empire. Not life, not death. Nothing, you know. As long as God gives me air in these lungs, we're going to keep pressing forward here on True School Sports. So leave your comments down below. Make sure you take the time to subscribe. Like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just giving Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.